The evening air felt good, like a soft blanket after a too warm day. Summer was just starting to think about leaving, giving us these gentle nights. I was walking home from Sarah's house just a few blocks away. We'd been laughing over lemonade, talking about baby names, and how my feet seemed to swell up just looking at a pair of shoes these days. I was 7 months along, carrying this precious little life inside me, and everything felt heavy, but in a good way. Like I was carrying hope. My streetlights were just starting to flicker on, casting those long, spooky shadows that trees make. I always liked this time of evening. Quiet, peaceful. Kids' bikes left lying on lawns, the smell of somebody's dinner cooking, maybe a little barbecue smoke still hanging in the air. Home was just around the corner. I could almost picture David, my husband, probably pacing a little, wondering when I'd be back. He worried, especially now with the baby coming. I was humming some tune Sarah had playing, rubbing my belly gently. Little one was quiet tonight, probably resting up for a midnight kickboxing session. My steps were slow. Couldn't really hurry anymore, even if I wanted to. My back ached, that dull, constant ache that had become my new normal. I shifted the small bag I was carrying, just some leftover cookies Sarah insisted I take to my other hand. That's when I saw the car. Police cruiser. It pulled up alongside me, slow, quiet, no lights flashing yet. My stomach did a funny little flip. Not a good flip, just tight. You learn that feeling early growing up Black. A police car slowing down beside you often doesn't mean they're checking if you need help. I kept walking, maybe a little straighter, trying to look like I belonged. Which was stupid, right? This was my street. I lived here. But that feeling, it makes you second guess yourself. The window rolled down. "Ma'am, can we have a word?" The voice wasn't mean, not yet. Just flat, official. There were 2 officers. In the car. The one on the passenger side was talking to me. I stopped. My heart started beating faster, a nervous little bird trapped in my chest. "Is something wrong, officer?" I tried to keep my voice steady, calm. "We got a call, the passenger," officer said, looking me up and down. His eyes lingered for a second on my belly, but it didn't seem to register, not really. About someone acting suspicious in the area, matching your description. My breath caught. My description? I looked down at myself. Flowing maternity dress, comfortable sandals, belly sticking out proud and round. What about that was suspicious? I was just walking home. I live right around the corner. I pointed vaguely. My hand was shaking a little. The driver got out of the car then. He was taller, seemed sterner. He walked around the front of the car, stood with his arms crossed, just watching me. It made my skin crawl. "Where are you coming from?" The first officer asked my friend Sarah's house. "Down on Maple Street. We were just visiting." Why did I feel like I had to justify drinking lemonade with my friend? See any ID? The driver asked, not looking at me, but at his partner. "Yes." "Ma'am, can we see some identification?" The first officer said, his voice hardening slightly. My mind raced. My wallet was in my purse back at home. I never took it just to walk 3 blocks to Sarah's. "Who is that?" "Oh," I said, my voice smaller now. I didn't bring my purse. I just walked over to my friend's place. I live right there. I pointed more firmly this time towards my house, just visible past the next streetlight. Number 217, Maya, Washington. My husband David is probably waiting for me. The officers exchanged a look. It wasn't a friendly look. It was a look that said, "Sure she does. So you have no ID on you?" The driver stated. It wasn't a question. "No," I just explained. My voice trembled. Tears started to well up, hot and unwanted. Hormones maybe, but mostly fear. And anger, humiliation, Standing here, pregnant on my own street, being treated like a criminal. I'm just walking home, I repeated, feeling helpless. I'm 7 months pregnant. I just want to go home. We need you to wait here, ma'am, the first officer said. He got out of the car too now. Both of them standing there, blocking my path. Not touching me, but caging me in with their presence. We need to verify your story. Verify my story. Verify that I was walking down my own street. It felt unreal. Like a bad dream. My backache flared, sharp this time. I put a hand on my belly, a protective instinct. The baby chose that moment to give a little flutter, a tiny kick. It was like he knew. Like he was scared too. Please, I whispered. I don't feel well. Can I just sit down on my own porch? You can watch me from here. Stay right there, ma'am, the driver said. His voice sharp now, final dot, and that's when the fear really washed over me. Cold, heavy fear. What if they didn't believe me? What if they decided to take me somewhere, pregnant, without my ID? What would happen to me? To the baby? My mind spun with terrible possibilities, each one worse than the last. Time stretched out, thick and suffocating. Every passing car seemed to slow down, eyes watching me standing there between two police officers. I felt ashamed, exposed. I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to hold back the tears. David, please come. Please, please, please. And then, like an answer to a prayer, I heard his voice. Maya, honey, what's going on? I opened my eyes. David. He was walking quickly towards us, his face tight with worry. He must have gotten tired of waiting, maybe. Looked out the window. Relief flooded through me, so strong my knees almost buckled. He looked from me, standing there trying not to cry, to the officers flanking me. His eyes hardened. David is usually so easygoing, but I saw that protective. Fire light up in his eyes. Is there a problem, officers? He asked, his voice low and controlled, but with an edge. He stepped closer to me, putting a hand gently on my arm. Just his touch made me feel a tiny bit safer. Sir, we're conducting an investigation, the driver said, sizing David up. We received a call about a suspicious person matching this woman's description. David looked at me, then back at the officers. He took in my dress, my belly, my tear-streaked face. A flicker of disbelief, then anger crossed his face. Suspicious? He repeated, incredulous. My wife, she's 7 months pregnant. She was walking home from her friend Sarah's house, 3 blocks away. She lives here? He gestured firmly towards our house, with me. What exactly was suspicious about her? The first officer shifted his weight. We got a call, sir. Vague description. Someone walking around. Someone walking around? David echoed, his voice dangerously quiet. On a residential street, in the early evening. And that description led you to detain my pregnant wife. There was a moment of silence. The air crackled. David wasn't shouting, but his presence, his clear, articulate challenge, seemed to change the atmosphere. He wasn't intimidated. He was demanding answers. She didn't have ID, sir, the driver said, sounding a little defensive now. She was walking. 3 blocks, David shot back. Does she need a passport to visit a friend down the street? Her name is Myers Washington. Mine is David Washington. We live at 217 Oak Street, have for 5 years. You can check your system. You can call Sarah Miller on Maple Street and ask if my wife was just there drinking lemonade. Or you can look at her, really look at her, and tell me what threat she poses. He wasn't just talking anymore. He was testifying. He was telling them the simple, undeniable truth that they hadn't wanted to see or hadn't bothered to see. When it was just me standing there, he reached into his pocket, slowly, deliberately. I have my ID right here. I also have pictures on my phone of us in front of our house, our wedding photos. Ultrasound pictures of our baby, the one she's carrying right now. He held their gaze. Is any of that necessary? Or can my wife please go home now? She's tired. Her back hurts. And frankly, you're scaring her. You're scaring me. The officers looked at each other. The driver seemed to deflate slightly. Maybe he heard the tremor in David's voice when he said, "You're scaring me." Maybe he finally saw me, really saw me, not just a vague description, but a pregnant woman, clearly distressed, with her husband standing protectively beside her. Maybe he saw the house number David pointed to. Maybe he just realized how ridiculous this whole situation was. The first officer cleared his throat. "Okay, sir, all right." He looked at me, a flicker of something, maybe embarrassment, in his eyes. "Sorry for the disturbance, ma'am. You're free to go. Free to go." Like they were granting me a privilege. David kept his arm around me. He didn't say thank you. He just nodded curtly. "Let's go home, Maya." He guided me away, past the police car, towards our front porch. My legs felt shaky. I leaned heavily on him. I could feel the officers watching us walk away. I didn't look back. As soon as our front door closed behind us, the dam broke. Sobs racked my body, deep, shuddering gasps. David held me tight, stroking my hair, murmuring soothing things. "It's okay, baby. You're safe now. It's okay. I've got you." But it wasn't. Okay, not really. Safe? Yes, inside these four walls, with David. But out there, on my own street? Apparently not. We sat on the sofa for a long time, me crying, him holding me. The leftover cookies from Sarah sat forgotten on the entryway table. The peace of the evening was shattered, replaced by a raw, aching fear and a burning sense of injustice. Why? I choked out between sobs. Why me, just walking? David held my face in his hands. His own eyes were wet. "I don't know, Maya. I honestly don't know. But it shouldn't have happened. It's wrong." He was right. It was wrong. But the truth that David had revealed wasn't some big secret. It was just the truth, my truth. That I was Maya Washington. That I lived here. That I was pregnant. That I was just walking home. A truth that somehow hadn't mattered until he was there to say it for me. Until he, my husband, stood there and made them see me, lying in bed that night, curled against David's back, feeling the baby move restlessly inside me. I couldn't shake the feeling. The fear lingered, a cold knot in my stomach. What if David hadn't come looking for me? What would have happened then? Would I still be standing on that corner? Or somewhere worse? The world felt a little less safe tonight, a little colder, and the weight I carried, the hope inside me, suddenly felt terrifyingly fragile. Because the truth, my simple, innocent truth, hadn't been enough to protect me, not on its own. And that thought hurt almost as much as the fear itself.